All right, so get this. Today's deep dive is taking us on, well, a quest for riches, right? But get this. Our guide is a napkin sketch.
A napkin sketch.
Yeah, seriously, you uploaded this napkin.pdf, and it claims to have the secrets to becoming a billionaire.
Secrets might be pushing it, but it definitely lays out a, let's say, unique perspective on building wealth.
Unique is one way to put it. Okay, so before we break out the champagne and yachts, let's unpack this thing. It starts off with this whole spiritual essence of money idea.
Right.
Is this legit or just a bunch of fluffy affirmation?
Well, it's easy to dismiss, right? But the document makes a kind of interesting point. It argues that money is essentially like energy exchange. So every dollar represents, effort, value, some kind of transaction.
Okay, like trading your time and skills for a paycheck instead of just wishing it into existence?
Yeah, exactly.
But this napkin sketch, it goes even further, right?
It does. It dives right into this whole money as a mirror thing.
Money as a mirror.
Yeah, meaning like if you're constantly stressed about money, always feeling like there's never enough, that energy, that vibe, it might actually be repelling wealth.
So it's not just about how much money you have, but like how you think about money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The document's arguing that your beliefs about money, even your subconscious programming around wealth, they can actually influence what happens to you financially.
All right. I'm intrigued, but I'm also a little skeptical. How can just changing your thoughts about money actually attract more of it? Like, give me a real world example.
Okay, so think about it this way. Imagine someone who views wealth as this scarce thing, a zero-sum game. They think someone always has to lose for them to win. They're probably more likely to hoard their money, to be super suspicious of opportunities. And that fear, that whole approach, it might actually lead them to miss out on something big, something lucrative.
Interesting. So their scarcity mindset becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're so afraid of losing what they have that they block any chance of actually growing it.
Precisely. But on the other hand, someone with an abundance mentality, they see wealth as something that can be, created, expanded, shared. They're more likely to invest in themselves, take a risk every now and then.
Makes sense.
They approach things with like optimism and confidence, and yeah, that can lead to more success.
Okay, I can see how that works. But this napkin sketch, it doesn't just stop at mindset, does it?
You're right. It stresses the mental game for sure.
Yeah.
But it also acknowledges the practical side of money.
Okay, so like what?
Well, it talks about money as a tool, not just for buying a bunch of stuff, but for personal growth, for actually making a difference in the world.
Which I guess kind of ties back into that energy exchange idea. If you're using your wealth to learn to help others, maybe that creates a more positive flow, right? A more abundant flow.
That's the vibe this document seems to be putting out there, and it's where things start to get really interesting. It's not just about getting rich for the sake of it. It's about aligning your financial goals with your values, with your desire to actually make an impact.
So less about money talks and more about money walks a walk.
Yeah.
This napkin sketch is going for a more like purpose-driven approach to building wealth.
Absolutely. It really dives deep into this concept of building what it calls a billion-dollar mindset, which is way more than just wishing for a private jet. It's about cultivating specific beliefs and habits that supposedly pave the way to, well, extraordinary success.
All right, let's break down this billion-dollar mindset then. What are the key ingredients according to napkin.pdf? What does it actually take to think like a billionaire? So this napkin sketch says it has the key to a billion-dollar mindset, huh? Honestly, it all sounds a little too good to be true. Like, what are the core beliefs that supposedly make up this mindset?
Well, the document breaks this whole billion-dollar mindset thing down into 6 key areas.
6.
Yeah, 6. It starts with, you guessed it, mindset transformation. Then it gets into financial education, personal development, strategic investments, networking and mentorship, and finally, innovative thinking.
6 areas. That's quite the recipe for success. We've already talked about the mindset transformation part. What about this whole financial education thing? This napkin better teach me more than how to balance a checkbook if it's going to make me a billionaire.
It actually goes beyond the basics, surprisingly. Like, it stresses really understanding how different financial instruments work. Stocks, bonds, real estate, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
The building blocks of a diversified portfolio. It even suggests, like, really studying successful investors, learning their strategies, maybe even modeling your own approach after theirs.
So it's not just about saving your pennies. It's about understanding how to put your money to work for you, learning the rules of the game so you can win.
Exactly. It's about taking control of your, financial literacy. instead of just blindly trusting some advisor or falling for those get-rich-quick schemes.
Right, right. Knowledge is power, especially with money. But what about this strategic investments section? Does it give like specific stock tips or real estate secrets?
Thankfully, no hot stock tips. It's more about the long game, the strategic approach.
Okay.
The document really emphasizes research, doing your analysis, understanding how much risk you're comfortable with before making any big investment decisions.
So no buy this, sell that kind of advice. More about developing a real investment philosophy and making like informed choices based on your own goals and comfort level.
Precisely. It's about thinking like a business owner, not someone at the casino.
Right.
It even touches on diversifying your investments, exploring multiple income streams, not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's a big thing these days. Everyone's talking about side hustles, passive income, all that. But is that really realistic for everyone? Isn't that incredibly difficult and time-consuming?
That's a fair point. The document definitely doesn't pretend it's easy. It's clear about the dedication and discipline it takes to build wealth, and that sometimes it's not going to be glamorous. But it also says that by using your skills, what you're interested in, your network, you can create ways to generate income that aren't just a 9-to-5 job.
Okay, so it's not about just working more hours. It's about working smarter, finding ways to make money from different places.
Yeah, exactly.
What about the networking and mentorship part? It feels like every self-help guru out there is obsessed with networking.
It's true. Networking is a common theme. But this napkin sketch, it kind of frames it in a different way. Well, it says that surrounding yourself with successful people who think like you do, can really speed up your own journey.
Okay, so find your tribe of ambitious go-getters. But where does mentorship fit into all of this?
The document says you should be looking for guidance from people who've already achieved what you want to achieve.
Okay.
It's about learning from their experience, watching what they do, maybe even getting access to their network.
So it's like having your own personal advisory board, a group of mentors who can guide you, support you, even open doors you didn't know existed.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but it also sounds like, well, a lot of work.
It can be. But the document's point is that the right mentors can be super valuable on your journey to, wealth.
Yeah.
It even says their guidance can save you time, money, and keep you from making mistakes along the way.
Interesting. So it's not just about what you know, it's about who you know and who can teach you what you don't know. This napkin sketch is full of interesting ideas, but I gotta say, it also sounds like it requires a complete life overhaul.
It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. It takes a lot of commitment, self-awareness, and a willingness to, step outside your comfort zone. But maybe the most intriguing and honestly maybe controversial part of this billion-dollar mindset is the focus on.
Okay, you said controversial. Don't leave me hanging like that.
Yeah.
What is it about this billion-dollar mindset that has you wondering?
Well, in the middle of all this talk about investments and side hustles, the document throws in kind of a curveball.
Okay.
It says that generosity, like actually being generous, is a key part of this whole wealth building philosophy.
Generosity? Really? I thought this napkin sketch was all about getting rich, not giving your money away.
Right. That's what most people think. But this document, it's saying that real abundance, like true abundance, isn't about hoarding your wealth. It's about letting it flow.
Okay.
It actually suggests that by giving freely, whether it's your time, your money, your knowledge, whatever, you actually create a more abundant energy in your own life.
So it's like that whole the more you give, the more you get thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But how does that actually translate into, building wealth?
The document brings it back to that money as a mirror idea. If you're always focused on what you don't have, on holding on tight to everything, it's like you're just reinforcing that scarcity mindset we talked about.
Okay, so by being generous, even in a small way, you're shifting your focus from scarcity to abundance. You're acting as if you have more than enough to share, and that somehow attracts more abundance into your life.
Yeah, that's the general idea. It's about changing your whole relationship with money.
Yeah.
Seeing it as something you can use to actually do good in the world, not just as a way to buy a bunch of stuff.
It's an interesting concept, but I bet some people would hear that and think, give away my money while I'm trying to get rich. No way.
No, absolutely. It's not like you have to give away everything you have or go broke trying to save the world. It's more about finding ways to match up your money goals with your values, to use what you have. And that's not just money, but your time and skills too, to support causes you believe in and to make a real difference in other people's lives.
So it's not just about writing a check. It's about being thoughtful? About giving back in a way that feels right for you? Okay, I can get behind that. What else does this napkin say about generosity?
Well, it connects generosity back to that idea of having purpose-driven goals.
Yeah.
It's saying that when you're really clear on your why, like the reason you want to build wealth in the first place, it's a lot easier to make decisions about how to use your money in a way that lines up with that purpose.
So you're not just chasing money for the sake of it. You're driven by something deeper, this desire to have a positive impact. It's not just about the end goal of being a billionaire. It's about how you get there and what you leave behind.
Exactly. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from this whole napkin sketch. Even if you never actually become a billionaire, it's about thinking differently about wealth, about seeing money as a tool for personal growth, for contributing something, for making the world a little bit better.
It's a good message, especially in a world where success is all about having a ton of stuff. It's not about how much you have, but what you do with it, right? Creating a life that actually means something for you and for other people.
I couldn't agree more.
So here we are at the end of our deep dive into this mysterious napkin.pdf. We've gone through its unique take on mindset, its strategic actions, and even this whole generosity thing. Some of it might seem a little out there, but you got to admit, it really makes you think about wealth in a different way. What's the biggest takeaway for you from this document?
For me, it's that real wealth is so much bigger than just having a lot of money in the bank. It's about living your values, using what you have to make things better, and having that mindset of abundance and generosity.
I'm with you on that. It's about understanding that money is just a tool. It can help you build the life you want, but it's not the only thing that matters.
Right, exactly.
Well, on that note, we'll leave you with this. What if you looked at your own life through the lens of this napkin.pdf? What could you do, even in a small way, to bring more abundance, purpose, and generosity into your life? What could you do today to make your financial goals match up with your values and create a more fulfilling life, a life that has real impact? Until next time, keep diving deep.